This podcast is brought to you by Three Rivers Energy Partners. In today's episode of Digest This.
Energy professionals are looking at RNG as a low-carbon alternative that can actually use existing infrastructure.
RNG projects can provide fertilizer for farms, reduce odors, and even improve water quality by managing waste more effectively.
We are focusing on industrial organic waste streams.
Welcome to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, where we dive deep into the latest developments in sustainability and renewable energy. Join us in exploring the pioneering solutions and technologies that are shaping our future. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future. I'm Alex, and I'm here with my co-host, Emily. In today's episode, we're going back to the basics for anyone new to renewable natural gas, or RNG, and how it's fueling the energy transition. Emily, I feel like RNG is finally having its moment, right?
Absolutely, Alex. RNG is one of those solutions that's been around for a while, but it's really picking up steam now. For anyone new to the term, renewable natural gas is basically biogas that's been upgraded to pipeline quality. It's produced from organic waste. Think landfills, dairy farms, food producers, even wastewater treatment plants. Instead of letting all that methane escape into the atmosphere, we capture it and turn it into a usable, low-carbon fuel.
Yeah, and we're seeing real momentum. Just in the last year, there have been new projects announced in places like Florida, South Dakota, and Michigan. In Florida, for example, Opal Fuels just completed the state's first landfill gas-to-RNG facility. That's a big deal, taking landfill gas and turning it into enough fuel to replace about 5 million gallons of gasoline annually. And in South Dakota, there are clusters of dairy farms now producing RNG, which is then piped into the local gas system. It's not just a one-off anymore, it's a trend.
And it's not just about the technology. There's a policy tailwind here, too. Energy professionals are looking at RNG as a low-carbon alternative that can actually use existing infrastructure. Plus, with incentives and clean fuels policies, it's becoming a real contender for decarbonizing sectors that are tough to electrify, like heavy-duty transport and industrial heat. So it's not surprising we're seeing more companies and communities jump in.
Right, and as we talked about in a previous episode, the ability to leverage existing pipelines is a huge advantage. It's not just about new tech, it's about making the most of what we already have. But let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does all this waste actually become RNG?
Great question. The magic happens in something called an anaerobic digester. Basically, you take organic waste, could be manure, food scraps, or landfill material, and put it in a sealed tank with no oxygen. Microbes break down the waste and produce biogas, which is mostly methane and carbon dioxide. That biogas is then cleaned up, removing impurities and CO2. So you're left with high-purity methane, which is your RNG.
And the cool thing is the feedstocks can be really diverse. In Florida, like we mentioned, they're using landfill gas. In Michigan and South Dakota, it's all about dairy manure. I mean, in Michigan, there are projects converting hundreds of thousands of gallons of manure per day into RNG. That's a lot of cows and a lot of methane that would otherwise just be vented or flared.
Exactly. And the technology's getting better, too. These digesters are more efficient, and the gas upgrading systems can now get RNG to the same quality as fossil natural gas. That means it can go right into the pipeline or be used as a transportation fuel. And as we've seen in South Dakota, these projects are creating new revenue streams for farmers and local communities. It's a win-win.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that this isn't just a rural thing. Urban areas with big landfills or food processing plants can get in on the action too. The key is matching the right feedstock with the right technology and making sure there's a path to market for the RNG. Speaking of which, let's talk about how we're doing this at Three Rivers Energy Partners. So, at Three Rivers, we've taken a different approach to what we are using to produce RNG. We are focusing on industrial organic waste streams. These are large-scale, homogeneous feedstock sources. Right now, we are working with major distilleries in Tennessee and Kentucky to turn their spent grains, all that leftover organic material from making whiskey, into RNG. Here's how it works. We collect the distillery's waste from producing whiskey, known as spent grains or stillage, and feed it into our anaerobic digesters. The microbes do their thing, producing biogas, which we then upgrade to RNG. The final product is injected directly into the local natural gas pipeline, so it's ready for use by homes and businesses.
I love this model because it's circular. The distilleries get a sustainable way to manage their waste, we produce a renewable energy, and we can even use the byproduct from the production of RNG, the nutrient-rich digestate, as fertilizer for local farms. The whole process reduces greenhouse gas emissions and recovers much-needed nutrients that are returned to the soil. It's a great example of industrial symbiosis.
Yeah, and the partnerships are key. We work closely with the distilleries, farmers, and local utilities to make sure everything runs smoothly.
And it's scalable, too. As more distilleries and food producers look for sustainable waste solutions, this model can be replicated in other regions. It's a great way to turn what used to be a disposal problem into a valuable resource. But let's dig into the bigger picture. What does all this mean for the environment and the economy? So, let's talk numbers. RNG projects can deliver significant greenhouse gas reductions, especially when you're capturing methane that would otherwise escape from the feedstock through natural processes. According to the EPA, methane is about 28 times more potent than CO2 as a greenhouse gas, so every ton you capture and use as fuel is a big win for the climate.
Yeah, and there's the economic side too. Producers and communities can earn renewable fuel credits, like those from the Low Carbon Fuel Standard or federal programs. While these programs can be very beneficial to specific RNG projects, they are not always essential. In fact, we have taken the stance to build our projects around not needing to rely on government-assisted programs for them to be economically viable.
And don't forget the local benefits. RNG projects can provide fertilizer for farms, reduce odors, and even improve water quality by managing waste more effectively. The environmental and economic impacts are real, and they're driving more interest from both the public and private sectors.
Right, and as we've seen in other episodes, the combination of environmental benefits and economic incentives is what's really moving the needle. But what's next? How do we scale this up and make RNG a bigger part of our energy mix?
Scaling up RNG isn't without its challenges. Finding the right feedstock sources is one hurdle. Infrastructure is another big hurdle. Not every site is close to a pipeline, and building new connections can be expensive. Plus, the economics on certain projects can depend on policy incentives, like renewable fuel credits or clean fuel standards.
Yeah, but there are some exciting opportunities on the horizon. Our approach to taking on industrial feedstock sources rather than landfill and manure to create a more stable project. Virtual pipelines, basically trucking RNG short distances to injection points, are helping projects in more remote areas get to market. And regional clean fuels policies like the ones being discussed in the Midwest could open up new markets and make more projects feasible. It's a dynamic space, and I think we're just scratching the surface.
If you're a business leader or energy professional, now's the time to start exploring RNG partnerships. The technology is proven, the policy landscape is evolving, and the market potential is growing. Whether you're in agriculture, food production, or waste management, there's a real opportunity to turn waste into value and help decarbonize our energy system in the process. You can reach out to us at threeriversenergy.com or find us on LinkedIn to talk with us about working with you to help lower your carbon footprint and solve waste stream and byproduct issues.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Emily. That's all for today's episode of Digest This. We hope you found this deep dive into RNG useful, whether you're looking for your next sustainability project or just curious about where the industry's headed. Emily, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks to everyone listening. We'll be back soon with more on the future of sustainable energy. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.
See you next time, everyone. Thank you for listening to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, a Three Rivers Energy Partners podcast. Three Rivers Energy Partners is a renewable energy company that empowers organizations with the ability to create a sustainable future by converting organic waste streams into renewable energy and resources. To get the latest episode of Digest This, or to find out more about Three Rivers Energy Partners, visit threeriversenergy.com or find us on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The sustainable future is being created right now. Keep Keep exploring and keep up to speed with the latest in renewable energy and sustainability. See you next time.